Cape Cod style buildings that all have the old distressed wooden shingles on them. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
So she moved into they moved into this house that she had that the grandmother had their eyes on. So they pulled the resources, they moved in there, and on the property there was a shed, and that shed was used for storing gardening equipment. And they claimed that a gnome Pukwudgie terrorized them
Mm.
for years, to the point where they actually had to move away, right? Like they were like a little evil little gnome thing on there. So that's cool, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
Good pick, man. You got
Yeah.
more?
And I read it. I didn't hear that one specifically, but I did read a few reports. Reported stories of Pukwudgie sightings. But yeah, typically, as I said, they're not happy with us.
Yeah.
It have been hundreds, thousands of years. I don't know how long, but they're not happy with us. So if you encounter one, you're told to back off, get the hell out of there, right? Because they have been reportedly known to go as far as, like I said, kidnap children, kidnap people. They've been known to attack and kill with their magic arrows, with knives, with spears, and there's even been reports of Pukwudgies pushing people off cliffs. So yeah, you don't want to mess with these guys.
Yeah, no, for
Um,
sure.
they'll mess you up.
And I
Uh,
actually takes me to it. It ties into a lot of the little people from Ireland and those areas over there. And Steve and I are actually working on a project together about the wind days. They have these things all the way down as far south as Central and South America. So, all right, is that it, Steve? You got more?
um, I did have a couple just encounter
Let's do
stories.
it. Let's hear it, baby. That's what we bring to the table. We just don't bring facts. We bring facts with stories.
Mm-hmm. The most report of a Pukwudgie sighting that I could find was from last year, March of last year.
Oh snap! All right.
Yeah, a woman out in Massachusetts one morning walking her dog, very early in the morning, as she did every morning. Along her typical route, she passed this small pond. And this one particular morning, the beginning of March, she passed the pond with her dog, and the dog froze in his tracks, right? Just stopped and started growling. It could tell there was something there. She didn't see anything at first. She was nervous, scared, obviously, and she noticed peeking up over the ridge on the edge of the pond was this, what she described as a small, about 2.5 foot human-like creature. And it had, oh, that's one thing I forgot to mention earlier, was aside from their human traits, they're typically talked about having gray skin. Sometimes, though, there have been reports of the skin glowing, and their eyes also glowing. So this
Mm.
woman, she said she saw this small creature with the thick matted hair on the back, and also deep glowing green eyes. And obviously, this terrified her. So her and her dog, they skedaddled. They turned right around. They got out of there. And she thought that was okay. Don't know what the hell this is, but
Yeah.
I'm out of there. I'm done with that. But a few days later, it was late one evening. I don't know exactly the time, but she was home, and she said she heard all of a sudden this incessant tapping on one of her windows, right? And she thought, okay, that's freaky. What could this be? And she thought, well, perhaps my daughter, maybe she got locked out of the house. And she went, and nope, her daughter was asleep. She was in bed asleep. So the woman's obviously terrified at this point. So she goes, she turns on all the lights in the house. She starts making loud noise, and eventually the tapping stopped and it was gone. She never did see it, but her thought is it had to have been this creature that had
Yeah.
come back and was looking for her. So
Dang.
yeah.
Good job, Smoke. That's your name, Smoke. Good job, Smoke.
Well, thanks.
Smoke. Duke, Smoke, and Cooter. Good job, Smoke. That's
There you go.
man.
Just like just like my childhood.
Yeah. Go ahead, Steve. Yeah, I'm taking it all in, man. That's a good story here.
I was gonna say there was another one that I saw. This happened. I want to say it was in 2007. Same thing. A woman was out. She was jogging one day, and she was in, what was the name of the town? Freetown. She was in Freetown State Park. I believe that's up in Massachusetts. And she was out jogging, and she kind of sensed something was off, right? And she was going. She realized off in the woods, hiding behind this tree, kind of following her, was this same idea of this small gray man with deep green eyes. And yeah, obviously she freaked out, and she bolted it. She went home, and while she never closely encountered it, she said that over the course of the next few weeks, she would see this thing running around her property. So clearly it followed her home, you know? So these things, you don't want to mess with them. You know, obviously
no.
people aren't even doing anything and they're getting, you know, followed by the Pukwudgies. And so if you see one, you want to make sure that you get the hell out of there. And it's funny because that story was in Freetown National Park. And another thing I saw was, I guess, the sightings of Pukwudgies in this town of Freetown are so frequent that there are actually, through the town, there are Pukwudgie crossing signs. Like you'd say, I guess city officials, they thought it was enough of a, you know, there were enough reports that they actually set up Pukwudgie crossing signs throughout this Freetown.
So actually, it's funny because in Iceland, they refer to these little creatures as elves, and they have similar stuff about like to just appease the elves is what they call them, little small things, right? And so another thing that I could take away from that is that, number one, I'm never going to go to that town because I don't need one of these things hitchhiking home to me. But number three, the thing I take away the most from that story is jogging's for losers, man. This is what you get. You understand? Let the dog out the trailer, let him go do his business and come back in. You got to walk no dang dog. Just open the trailer door up and jogging. That's what you get for jogging, right? Well, all right.
That makes sense, dude.
Well, good job, Smoke.
Thanks.
You know what? You just got your contract renewed, son. You're 5 steps away from being a union man around here. All right, so you're closer, 1 step closer.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Cooter. Showed up late, didn't do your homework. That's my guy.
I got it.
That's my guy right there. All right.
It's all right here, man. Smoke wolves.
Smoke wolf.
It's not just Appalachia. They show up everywhere. They show up in Native American folklore, Eastern European folklore. There's some variations, but that kind of entity, that misty, eyes in the dark, you know, shadow wolf thing, carries out throughout a bunch of different legendary monsters in different cultures, right?
Subscribe now and turn on the notifications to join us on this extraordinary journey into the unknown.